before 2022, we'll be paying 5% tariff on these ballpoints. And we wrote a letter for clarification, which we brought to Abuja in that 2022. The letter was received by Custom on the 2nd of July, 2022, the letter for this clarification. And by 19th of July, Custom replied us with a letter clarifying it as a ballpoint with 5% tariff. They gave us that letter, which I have a copy here. The letter was signed by Deputy Controller General, TT S. Chiroma. So, again, in 2024, the same ballpoints that we were importing for almost 40 years, again in 2024, they said we are going to be paying 20%. We have a letter from Custom dated 19th of July 2022, duly clarifying this ballpoint as a part. So this year, again, they brought to us debit notes, now charging us excess, for not paying the right duty from 2022 to 2024, even after presenting the letter given to us by Custom, clarifying that this product we are using to produce pen is a part, it's not a whole product. So my question is this. After we tendered this letter to them, they were asking us for revalidation. We Custom revalidate itself over a letter that it has been given.
Thank you, Mr. Adeyemi. You got a classification opinion in 2022. And every year you have to validate it. That is the procedure. Even it's like an international best practice. Even with the WCO, even with the advanced ruling we are incorporating now, it has to be validated every year in case there's a review, in case that classification was not, because nobody is perfect, in case there's new information on that particular product or that particular commodity. So every year you're supposed to have a 2023 validation, you're supposed to have 2024. But if you still feel that you are correct, you protest. You write a letter of protest. You send it to us, the Tariff and Trade Department in the headquarters here. We will invite you for a meeting with the dispute resolution group that we have. And we'll look at the books together. We'll read them. We'll read the interpretative rules, why it is classified, where you put it, and where we want to put it. We'll look at it together and come up with an opinion or a decision. And then you will know, because you're going to be part of that particular meeting, and you see why it is classified, whether it's going to be in your favor or not. And we're very, very objective in that particular committee. If you are correct, we'll accept that you are correct, and we'll give you that classified opinion. If anybody should stop you, you always have where to go to. If you, in the command, you meet the area controller, who will get in touch with us immediately. Like me, there are people here that have had encounters with me. You can call me directly and I'll intervene real time. We intervene real time in situations like that just to assist manufacturers. So you have that opportunity to protest the HS code. I know because I've had times when I've done that particular classification for these nips. Nips are the tips of the pen. The ballpoint itself is a prohibition. You are not allowed to import ballpoints into Nigeria. You're only allowed to import the nips. There's those tips there. And those nips, when you come to us, we're going to sit down together and we'll read the books. And you know why it is being classified and given at 20%. But if you had a classification opinion, you are to revalidate it every year. That is the procedure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Please, ma'am, before you go, this HS code has not changed. It's still the same code.
Like she said, that you, as the best
So we've
practice,
sent a petition already.
please do that. You can also copy the DG of manufacturers as well in Nigeria, so that we can also be part of the discussion. But what she's saying here is that you need to revalidate your document classification every year, so that you take the same duty rate that you are. Thank you. Okay, next question. Okay, there is a lady that, yeah, can we give it to that lady? Thank you.
Okay, good morning, DCG, and thank you so much for that fantastic presentation. My name is Jumoke Bamibola. I work with Nigerian Bottling Company, and I would say we commend the work that Customs has been doing. We're actually part of the companies that were earmarked to commence the AEO, which we're already in the process of working. At least we've had good experience or some level of experience with the fast track as beneficiaries as well. So we commend, the continuous advancement and facilitation that Customs is working on. However, over a course of time, we've experienced some challenges that we would like your support, the support of the commission service around. And that's in terms of when you say our system, there are times we have challenges uploading documents on the portal, which then creates some level of glitch on our back end and the backlogs affecting the volume of work that we can do within a period of time. And this is sometimes highly cost impacts on the business in terms of operations. So I don't know how the system works, because Customs would not take out the demurrage that eventually happens as a result of those glitches that happen technically. So how are we managing that platform in terms of the network? Recently, I know as of last 2 weeks, we've been struggling so terribly. My team have been reaching out. How can we, expedite that and get that sorted? Another issue that we've also been experiencing is getting FOU support and escort allocation. Sometimes it takes 3 days. Sometimes they will say they are having meetings. On those meeting days, they can't be out. This, if you could move, if you have 5 days in a week and you need to move maybe 10 trucks, and you only have 3 days within that week, we lose out on, other trucks that could move at that point. So we just want to see how we can, minimize those delays, particularly around getting the escort allocation for fast track clearances and all that. I would leave the HS code issue for later because it's been overflogged, and we will just take up the advice. We've been engaging the office and we know we've been receiving support around, so I won't raise that here. Thank you again, Ma. So just those 2 areas that we would like to have feedback and how we can, manage the expectations on our end. Thank you.
Thank you, Jumoke. For the nicest downtime, it has been an issue that we're trying very hard to resolve. With automation, with technology, you always have such glitches once in a while. And right now, as we speak, we're doing everything within our power to make sure that the system is working 90 or 95% of the time. And we're also moving to another service provider. I'm sure you are aware. So we're just trying to integrate the new platform onto the old. So there's some work going on. That's why we have the downtime. And I believe that very soon it will be resolved. And then secondly, for FOU support, you are already in the pilot of the AUO. And one of the things that you're going to enjoy as an AUO is what? You're going to take your trucks without having to have those escorts. So in a short while, by January, when we actually start the AUO, you'll be relieved of that problem. Because you take your cargo without having to have those escorts. That's one of the benefits you would have for being a reliable and compliant trader. Thank you.
Can we give a round of applause, please? Thank you for that. Okay.
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lekon Busari. I represent Secure ID Limited. Secure ID Limited. We are manufacturers of payment cards and then secure identification documents. Let me congratulate Man for putting this summit together. It's been a wonderful day and a half so far. And then let me thank the Customs of Nigeria for the lofty reforms and programs that were announced by the CG yesterday and reinforced by this DCG today. We believe that we are going to have it better going forward than we have had in the past. I have a specific issue peculiar to my organization. We are card manufacturers, payment card and security identification documents. We use overlays in our manufacturing processes, and then we import these overlays. Sometime last year, we brought in overlays, and customs decided to charge us the levy, the duty on marked stripes, which is significantly different from what they charge on overlays. When we protested this, we were asked to post a bond so that we can get our goods out of the port. We posted a bond of 28 million naira. Since this time, we have taken the opportunity of the dispute resolution option offered by Customs, but this dispute up until this moment has not been resolved. And our 28 million is hanging somewhere. When the DCG mentioned that dispute resolution, they will sit once and this will be resolved. We have not had this experience. Is this a going forward or something that has been happening before now? Thank you.
Mr. Lekon, thank you. I met with your MD, the lady, yesterday. She was there. Is she here today? Okay, and we have a meeting tomorrow, Thursday, to resolve this dispute. We've had that conversation already. We're having that meeting tomorrow, and it will be resolved tomorrow. When we leave here, we're going to go to the office and have that. The committee is already ready for the meeting. She'll be part of the meeting. I don't know if you're coming along with her too. We're going to do it together, and then we'll now come to a decision tomorrow together. Thank you.
Please, I think we can do better. Can we give her another round of applause? Thank you very much, madam. Still in the spirit of this conversation, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Enebi Shuaibu Onucheyo, who is the Director, Product Certification for Standards Organization of Nigeria. Please, you may join the panel upstage. Please, let's give him a round of applause as he comes. Thank you. So, as we move the conversation forward, it will be my pleasure to invite the Director, Product Certification Standards Organization of Nigeria to please give us his opening remarks, after which questions will be received from members of the audience. Director, you're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Engineer Enebi Shaibu Onucheyo, Director of Product Certification Standards Organization of Nigeria. I want to first apologize for the inability of the Director General to be here personally. He would have loved to be here, but this morning was summoned. The power above him summoned him. It's okay. I should go and represent him. So apologies, please. Standards Organization of Nigeria is an organization that is saddled with the responsibility of formulation of standards and ensuring the implementation of these standards that will guarantee quality products in our markets. And of course, we are into a lot of certification, product certification, and of course, conformity assessment for imported product also. And even operators in the free trade zone, we look at the activities also. We have a special program for them, which we call SESCAP, and among others. I think I will leave it at this point. Thank you very much for being here.
Okay, sir. Thank you for joining the team. Can we give him a round of applause once again? Please have your seat. Before you came in, sir, there was a question that was referred to SON, influx of substandard plywood. Maybe the person concerned should repeat the question so that you can take it from there. Please give him mic to...
Well, I'm standing on existing protocol. Yes, already established. We are happy to see the director of SON, our friend. You are welcome. The question is this.
Your name, please, the company, your name and the company.
Okay. I am Piers Bratte. I represent Rongtai Wood, makers of fiber boards and plywoods, other wood products, here in Nigeria. Also a member of MAN, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. The question arose when we were discussing with our sister from Customs. She said, why there is no fiscal policy of government has not put in place restrictions on importation of plywood, the onus to regulate the quality of these plywoods rests with SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria. And the question is in twofold. If SON has standard for wood, for plywood in Nigeria, and what is SON doing? Because since it is within the purview of SON to ensure that good quality plywoods are allowed into Nigeria, since there's no policy of restriction yet, what is SON doing to secure us who are local manufacturers from the influx of very poor, cheap plywoods into Nigeria? That was the question. And if you are doing anything, why is the impact not being felt? Because the market is filled up with these products from other countries. Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much. Though I didn't get your name clearly. The truth of the matter is that for all imported products, we have a program in place, which is the Standards Organization Conformity Assessment that manages the quality of all imported products, SONCAP. And for you to bring in, if it's coming in as a raw material, as a member of MAN, we have an agreement. Let me go back a little bit. MAN is a very big stakeholder as far as SON is concerned. I'm sure a lot of success story of SON, MAN has contributed a lot, and they are very much aware of whatever I'm going to say here now on this, your question. Yes, we have a SONCAP program that deals with imported products. For any member of MAN that is bringing his raw material or equipment, we have a special protocol for them, which they know, which is the import permits. It's mainly for raw materials and equipment for manufacturing in Nigeria. In that case, it doesn't have to go through our SONCAP program overseas. That is the test and everything, because you're still going to undergo technical. Actually, there are technical actions that are going to be carried out on that your raw material before you get to the finished state. And during that process in Nigeria, we also have a mandatory conformity assessment for locally manufactured products that visit your factory to see your process, to see how you manage your process, and again, what comes out of your process at the end of the day, to tell you whether the quality of the outcome of your activity is okay or not to go into our market. I don't think that if a wood comes into Nigeria, definitely you know when our people come for factory inspections, they start from what we call raw material to finishing. If you have a factory, you know our procedure. We go to your raw material, check your raw material. Are they within the validity period? Yes. You use them. How you use them, your process until we get to the finish and the packaging stage of your manufacturing. So if any of your raw material is not within the validity period, you know the implication of that. And that is why after every inspection, if there's any technical observation made, we send a feedback, which you get within 7 days of that visit. You get that feedback from us. If there's any observation outside what I have told you, and we did not take note, please bring it to our knowledge. Thank you very much. He's talking of wood. Yes. Plywood is a raw material. Okay. Well, the primary responsibility of SON is formulation of standards. The standards specify the quality of each product that must come into Nigeria. If it comes to Nigeria, if you are importing plywood to Nigeria, you must ensure you get a copy of our standard and ensure whatever you are bringing in fulfill the requirement of that standard. Because if it comes here, it do not meet the requirement of that standard, of course, you know the implication, it will be confiscated. That is the little we can do. As you all know, we are not physically, officially at the port. We are not officially at the port. To physically do anything that will help your market, help us appeal to government to take us back to the port. Thank you very much.
Please, we will need additional mic if we can get. Thank you. So, you still want to add to the question, or?
You are not satisfied.
Let's know how many hands we have for questions so that we can know how to.
While the director tried to explain the procedure for quality system for those of us in local manufacturing, he was very vague about being able to restrain poor quality goods into. We're talking about your own factory, your own country. How do you secure your local manufacturer? And you said that you are not at the port. But the custom has just said that it is the duty of regulators, quality regulators, to advise them on what not come into the country. We are talking about substandard finished products from unlicensed manufacturers in Asia coming to your country and ravaging us, killing us here with cheap products, very cheap products. And you say it's not your duty to restrain them? Please, what we wanted us to do here is that if you can assist us, you are in government. We are making complaint to you right now. We are discussing that manufacturers complain very seriously about the influx of substandard products into our client. What can we do to secure employment here in our country? Okay. Not a question of its custom.
What is asking,
it's
what can
SON.
SON do
to
assist local manufacturers against this uncompetitive attitude of foreigners, bringing in substandard products,
good products,
destroying their market, making them uncompetitive? What can SON do to help them? So that's the question they are asking.
Correct.
If I want to get you, I want to get you right, please. What we can do to stop the influx of substandard products, that is the bottom line. Am I right? He's not with us again. The man has gone. That is the question. The first thing we do is to ensure that we have the national industrial standard for that very product. And the awareness is created within our stakeholders that this standard exists. What is the next thing? We have put up a program to check all imported products that comes into Nigeria. But we have a challenge. The challenge is this. We are not officially at the port to check this thing physically. So most times we go through market surveillance to even get some of these products. through our market surveillance, we see some of this product in the market. Then we ask the seller, how did you bring it in? Most time they tell us, okay, I got it from my supplier. Who is your supplier? We have to go through that hard route to get to whoever import that product into Nigeria. Sometimes before we get to know the warehouse, highest percentage of the product have been sold out. You arrest the person, confiscate the remaining goods that is there in the warehouse, and then prosecute the person. We have a lot of cases in court right now on these issues like this. And some have been sent to 3 months in jail with fine and all that. We have a lot of those history. And again, if you are a member of MAN, these things sometimes we do in collaboration with MAN. We get a lot of information from MAN too. We work hand in hand with MAN. We get information. If you have information about what you are telling me, anybody, even before he leaves China, let us know. We will collaborate with custom too. There is no way they can beat us to it. If we tell custom, we have a way of stopping them and confiscating those goods. We need information. You have to help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Past that, you can send information through the DG, Director General of MAN. It will be effectively handled. Thank you. Okay,
Yes.
next question.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you very
have your
much.
mic.
My name is Mrs. Tibioku Rahman, Barra Pharmaceutical Limited, Ilorin, and the Chairman Man, Kwara Kogi branch. Let me say that of late we enjoy the service of custom service. They are doing great. There's a lot
Sorry,
of
sir.
improvement. Yes?
Okay, if you say, can you put the mic on your
Okay, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so we enjoy services of Nigeria Custom Service now because there's a great improvement. But if we say everybody must be talking here to give some experience and challenges we are having at the port, we will not leave this place until tomorrow morning. I have two experiences briefly. At times we used to have overzealous officers who would take advantage of classification. Let me give you one instance. There was a time I brought in containers of paracetamol, and the officer classified paracetamol as aminophenol. It took me going to Apapa myself to explain to him that aminophenol is a chemical precursor of paracetamol before he could agree. Number two, it took a week before my release was signed because the officers was not on seat. I can go on and on and on. My suggestion is this: can we have an interface, an online platform between customs and specifically for manufacturers, through which you can just drop a box, a valid email address, and phone number. Writing a letter July 2nd, getting a reply July 19th is at variance with the current technology.
Mike, please. Okay.
Check two.
Thank you. Yes, to the Standard Organization of Nigeria, I just want to say that if you say being at the port will solve the problem, I don't think so. I think there's a need for you to up your scale, because a lot of these fake products come in through porous border, parallel importation. So majority of them do not come through normal regular ports. So, and it is your responsibility to help us out, to fish them out. If you are able to trace through chains from the buyer to the wholesaler to the reporter, if that person is punished, I think it will serve as deterrent to other people.
So if you need more staff, you can write to the government to give you more staff. If you need more logistics, you can write to the government to give you more logistics. But a greater percentage of fake products, particularly in pharmaceuticals, come through porous border, through parallel importation. Thank you very much.
Morning. Good morning, everybody. I have various. It's not a question. It's not a question because orientations to give to our Nigeria customs. My name is Dr. Yusuf MON. I'm the founder of Kamodi. When we are talking about the issue of smuggling or substandard products in Nigeria, it goes in two ways. This is our country. I believe this session is going to give a lot of high opener to many people, and it's going to enhance our inability. Today, almost 40 companies have left the custom territory to the free trade zone or by closing down. And when you look at the many people that are registered in the free trade zone, their main factory in custom territory have turned to a warehouse where they import on the name of their company in custom trade. The name of their company in the free trade zone. The goods will end up in the custom territory, selling without pay any tax and duty. A country of Ghana, where you import, the moment that your container landed in the port, they have a tracker. They will tag with the container until when that container gets to the free trade zone, before the system will stop beginning. Yes, can you hear me now? Okay, thank you, sorry for that. What I'm trying to say is that today in our country, many companies in the custom territory have closed down simply because of the smuggler or substandard, or simply because of the people in the free trade zone. People in the free trade zone import the goods, but custom doesn't have a tracker to track their container to the free trade zone. In a country like Ghana, they have a tracking system that they will attach with the container when it landed in the port until the container gets to the free trade zone before the system will cut off. Many people that import on the name of a free trade zone, registered name of a free trade zone, all their goods, almost 60% of it end up in Nigeria custom territory warehouse. And by not paying duty, pay tax, they can afford to sell below the production cost of all the company in the custom territory. This is one of the big challenges. And when you want to talking about the galvanizing or color coding roofing sheet, the big importer that brings some substandard this product, their warehouses in Owerri, very close to the customs. I don't know what they call their name. Customs office in Owerri. Today, for the last almost 3 years now, all the company in Lagos, in Ibadan, in everywhere could not be able to sell their product to the eastern zone because all the materials in eastern zone, they are all imported substandard roofing sheet, full of all the east. FOC is in Owerri. And the biggest importer of this substandard disc roofing sheet are based in Owerri. So what do we do about that? we have no choice than to close down. So if the Nigerian government wants everybody to go and shift our company to the free trade zone, we are ready. Because when we're talking about insurgency insecurity, in the old day, maybe you have about almost 200 companies in Kano. Today, hardly, you can boast about 50 companies in Kano, simply because they can't match the price of the importers. Thank you.
The first, the pharmacists that talk about paracetamol being classified as a chemical, and then also try to let some know that their absence from port does not mean that they should not be effective. So we will take these two, and then the activities in free trade zone, custom will handle that. Thank you.
Pharmacist Rahman, I agree with you that we have overzealous officers. I agree with you because we have to deal with them every day. We have overzealous people everywhere. Then for the paracetamol importation, you imported the raw material, right? Not the paracetamol, because paracetamol itself is a contraband, is prohibited. So if you imported the raw material of the pharmaceutical, for pharmaceutical production, for paracetamol production, and you talked about where you could report immediately. If you go to our website, that's tradehub.gov.ng, you will see a red box by the right. It's written report.gov.ng. You can click on that and make your report immediately. Every 30 minutes, somebody checks that. They would respond to you immediately. Our website, tradehub.gov.ng, you see a red box. It's a payback, what do you call it? You have to have it on your website. We just got 100% in payback rating for this year because we put up all those reforms. So if you click on that red report.gov.ng and make your complaint, we'll respond to you that day. On the issue of for Yusuf MON, free trade zone. Free trade zones, doctor. Sorry, I didn't get a doctor because you were not very clear. I didn't hear most of the things you said. But from what I got, you were talking about free trade zone and smuggling and then substandard things taken there. Free trade zone is a fiscal policy by the government. We have to have them to be able to align with international best practices. We must have the free trade zone operating in our country. And the free trade zone, they are giving the concession to import everything, whether it is prohibited, whether it is restricted, whether it has some protectionist measures, free. Because the idea is that they're going to manufacture, they're manufacturers like you too. They are supposed to manufacture goods for export to bring in the needed foreign exchange. At the same time, some of the things that they manufacture, they also bring them into Nigeria to sell to us. And when they do that, they pay duty. When they are coming back into Nigeria, because it's seen as a foreign country, the free trade zones are seen as foreign countries that have the right to bring in raw materials, manufacture for export. If peradventure they want to bring them into Nigeria, to export them to Nigeria, they pay customs duties. So we cannot stop the free trade zones from operating. It is not our prerogative. It's only the federal government that can stop them from operating. That's the truth. And I've not finished. I've not finished talking to you. You wait first, let me finish. You talked about we not monitoring these containers. And I say to you, we monitor them because you have to make a declaration. Our processes are automated. You must make a customs declaration, which you take on Transire. We call that declaration for free trade zone IM5. That's the S declaration.
Okay, I think she has responded that they have a tracking system, just like the Ghana, and they are working on their system.
If you are listening to me carefully, I told you that we have a method of monitoring those containers that leave our ports to go to the free trade zone. And in the free trade zone, there is limited customs control. What we are after is when you now produce or manufacture your goods and you want to bring them into Nigeria, you have to pay us customs duties. And these containers, when they leave the mother port to go to the free trade zone, you have to make a declaration. There must be a customs document before you leave the port. And we tag those customs documents IM5 for the free trade zones. And when those IM5 get into the free trade zone, we have them on our system because our processes are automated. You have to make an IM4 when you want to bring it into Nigeria. The ones that you do not make the IM4, you have to also, customs usually, you have to account for the cargo. What did you manufacture with those cargo? We do that. We do that tracking. That's not to say that there are no sharp practices. There are sharp practices everywhere in Nigeria. You and I know. And therefore, the electronic cargo tracking system you talked about, I said that customs is going to incorporate it as we embark on our customs modernization project. It is one of the things that we're going to use. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma. Thank you so much. Okay, any other question?
Please, I need to speak, please. Please, I need to speak. First of all, let me reintroduce myself. I have to be proactive. I'm sorry about this. There is an emergency for us. My name is Paul Odunaya. I'm the MD, Wemi Industries. We're the manufacturer of baby diapers, adult diapers, hygiene business in Nigeria. We're actually the first to manufacture this thing since 1979. There is a crisis in my industry. P&G has left. Kimberly Clark has left.
Sorry, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I'll speak louder. I'll speak louder.
Okay, sir.
I'm saying that my name is Paul Odunaya. I am the MD of Wemi Industries. We are manufacturers of hygiene products, baby diapers, baby wipes, adult diapers. And what I'm saying is there is a crisis in my industry. And I see customs, SON, NAFDAC as part of our stakeholders. But when it feels like some of the agencies are not working with us, there is an issue. So I need to just highlight some of the issues that we need to be dealt with within my industries. For example, we have non-wovens. Non-wovens are raw materials that we use to manufacture these products. And we have been manufacturing these products for over 40 years. We have a duty that was approved by the Ministry of Finance that non-wovens should be charged at 10%. But anytime we approach the custom, they move that percentage to 20%. And note that these products are not made in Nigeria. This is imported. So we don't understand this, and we don't know how we're going to resolve this issue because the customs have refused to assist us on this matter. So this is a crisis, and just following on what the gentleman spoke about the free trade zone, there is a problem there, and I think it shouldn't be ignored. I think it should be considered because sometimes it's not very obvious. We in the market know that goods from the free trade zone enter our market at very low prices, below cost of production, that is harming our business. And when people get fed up and tired, that is why they close their business and leave. We can't afford that. Even though these companies I mentioned earlier, like P&G and Kimberly Clark are our competitors, it's not a good sign when people start to leave the industry. And when we complain, please don't ignore our complaints. Please consider those complaints. Even if they don't make sense, please investigate them so that we can get a result. The issue of non-woven is a serious matter. We can't be
producing these things at high cost and can't sell. What happens is that there'll be low capacity utilization, you can't pay your bank, you can't pay your bill, then you have to lay off workers, then we'll be out of business. And nobody is in business to be out of business. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think with the new deal, Man and Custom, although we have been working together, we have been good stakeholders working together, but the new initiative that the CG of Customs and Man DG are working, it will become more easier for us to take issues and resolve it with Customs effectively. So if you have issues, if we didn't treat your case in this platform, if you have issues, please address it to the Director General, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and send it to our email. Once it gets to the email, it will be dealt immediately. So let me give to Customs.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. First and foremost, I want to say once again that Nigeria Customs Service wants man to trust us as partners and believe that we're going to work together to see that we resolve all the challenges that you're facing. I want to ask, are you a beneficiary of Chapter 99 for the non-woven, what is it? Are you a beneficiary of Chapter 99? You have the 99 concession.
Yes.
Okay,
But
and
it's not being implemented.
and customs officers are still stopping you and classifying it as 20%.
Yes.
Okay, you can write to us, write to the headquarters, and then we're going to do a special letter for you. Send them to the commands, and if anybody stops you, go to that whatever and make a report. If you even know the officer's name, put the officer's name there, because nobody is supposed to stop you if you have that Chapter 99 facility. But that's why we talk about overzealous officers once again. They exist, and there's nothing we can do about it. But we, as a service, don't encourage such attitudes. This CGC does not encourage officers overstepping their bounds. So we're going to deal with it. I promise you that. Then I also want you to know that the service is also engaging NEBSA and OXA. Those are the regulatory bodies for the free trade zones. Because there is a limit to what we can do in the free trade zones. We don't give them that facility. NEBSA and OXA give them that facility. And the government gives them the free trade zone status. Because you have to have a letter from the presidency to even take to OXA or NEBSA to have that facility. So maybe as a group, man should do a letter to stating your observations and see maybe there will be some other new rules that will come up that will give customs some more powers to handle some of the things that are done at the free trade zones.
All right, we have 3 more questions. 4.
Okay.
So we... Okay,
Thank you.
5.
Thank you again.
5 more questions, we round up.
This is to SON. My name is Juma, I work with Nigerian Bottling Company. I just wanted to clarify, and a lot of changes happen at the agencies, or sometimes maybe it's not properly communicated to stakeholders like the manufacturers. And I'm bringing this up based on a recent, in short, an ongoing challenge that we have. We've been trying to get ManCap fast track in one of the states. I don't want to be specific now. And the feedback we received was that we needed to make payment to a private consultant's account. This payment had an invoice that included the form, the 300,000 payment to Remita and all that. It was captured, and logistics for the inspection of the facility. And based on, of course, as a compliant business, we've been operating for over 70 years in Nigeria, and we have never experienced this. We had actually gotten our form, which is 5,000 naira. We've already paid our 300,000 via Remita. We had made all the necessary regulatory payments as required by the DN, which SON usually issues. And we furnished these details to the regulatory body within the command where the operation is taking place. But till date, they've refused to send staff of the SON for inspection. So I just want to understand, is there any circular or a new policy around receiving payments or businesses required to make payments, to an agency or a consulting company on behalf of the agency to facilitate logistics for regulators to go and inspect a facility for MANCAP application? Because we're currently held on that ground. Thank you.
Okay, son. On it. Is it on? Not bringing lights. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Jumoke. I think let me answer it backwardly. We don't have any consultants hired to collect any money or any payment on behalf of the Standards Organization of Nigeria. If anybody comes to you in that light, please arrest the person. We don't have any consultant to collect money for us. Number two, if there is problem with your payment dropping, or they say we are not seeing the payment, we can't confirm your payment, it's a different. Recently, we introduced what we call e-receipt and e-demand note, so that you can stay at the comfort of your home and make your payment. You get your demand note, make your payment, and get your receipt right at the comfort of your office. We have done that already. If anybody comes to you that is our agent to collect money, please arrest that person. We don't employ the services of anybody like that. And we all know the procedure of fast track. It's very simple. You pay for your fast track, the condition is clear. It's to enable you put your packaging material in time, and within that time, there are things you are expected to do. Every man members understand the way it plays out. If there's any delay, not from your end, but from our end, and it's not justified, please write formally. I am the Director of Product Certification. You can call me, and I will attend to it speedily. Thank you very much.
Paul, Wemi, please ensure you see her so that she can give you a proper directive on how to write your letter and who to address it to, please. Then the director from SON will provide his contact details so that you can get in touch with him to know why they have not sent the inspectors to come to your factory. So that will be sorted out. Okay. Okay. Well done, sir.
My name is Tunde Adio. I work for iLight Oil and Gas. I'm the MD. There is something I need to clarify as a takeaway here, which is a very critical issue. We are talking rethinking Nigeria, manufacturing, and it's all about protection, which were highly emphasized yesterday. Now, when Madam came to the podium, a question was asked concerning quality control, and she did respond that the duty, obviously for custom, is about duty collection, which we all know. And she did said, if it's about quality, that is SON. Good enough, we have the director here assisted. And I was shocked when he responded that they are not at the border to check control of influx of, and maybe affirm the quality of the product that comes in. If there is no one at the border to control quality, every other thing we are talking about is going to be a long, serious issue for manufacturers because this is a big loophole. So I want it to be re-emphasized. If indeed there is no regulatory agency at our border to control quality, then man needs to help us look into that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. But what they're emphasizing is that Nigeria border is porous, is so numerous that the customs cannot control all the influx, all the borders. And then SON has also analyzed to us how they check for this quality and then destroy the ones that does not meet up to standards. I'll give Son to add to what you.
Mr. Tunde, what I want to say is that Son has integrated with us. We have a very robust platform. That's the NICIS2, Nigeria Customs Information System, which Son can view our declarations. We cooperate with them in areas where they have interest, because they can see the declarations. They know the ones that are meant for them, standards which they need to check. And importers have what we call the SONCAP certificate for all their products, which they submit to customs through their bank to our platform. When that SONCAP is sent to us, we believe that, yes, okay, this is the SONCAP certificate, which is from Son. That means that particular importation has the correct documentation to go. Because it is submitted through the bank. That's the Son sends it to our platform directly. It's not a hard copy document. It is sent electronically to our platform, attached to each declaration. So if Son wants to go further, they view our declarations. They would say, okay, declaration C 2000 of so date, we want to be part of that examination. They are part of that examination. They choose which ones to come and look at. But for each importation that requires the Son certificate, that's the SONCAP, they give that certificate, which is attached to that declaration electronically. Thank you.
Yeah, I've said it all. Just if there's anything that has to do with us, we, just like I said, we have a very strong, robust collaboration with customs. We're invited, we go, we look at it, pick sample for analysis. But again, in Nigeria, we have a lot of porous border. I'm not sure customers even seeing everything that comes through those unmanned borders. So, so that is another side we have to look at, and we should all join hands together to fight that. I want to appeal to all of us. If you get any information on substandard products, no matter where it is in Nigeria, please give us the information. We are ready to risk our life to go there and do what we have to do to safeguard the lives of Nigerians. Thank you.
Okay. Are we done? Okay.
My name is Banjo Adewale, the MD of Waban Nigeria Limited. Remember, what we are discussing is rethinking manufacturing. I want that topic to be sounding in our mind. Rethinking manufacturing. If you are doing certain things before and it's not paying us, it's not paying the manufacturers, we have right to ask you questions so that you can rethink and we can rethink and support you. The customs, they are doing very well, but they have problem with SON. Like the custom woman said, when they say on their platform, this being is having certification from Son, it's okay. I disagree. It's okay, they are doing the right thing. I'm a victim of this, but I will not bring my experience into this platform. There was a time that the acting teacher, I want to ask, are you aware of your idea you brought in, which is PIN, product identification numbers? Are you aware of it? I want to know. Because it was a product, it was idea.
Sorry, we can't hear you from this side. Can you?
What I'm trying to say, is there a way of idea of PIN, product identification number, that came out from your Director General one time last year? If you are aware, they brought it to us as manufacturers. They went around all the nations. Fortunately, I was with them in Kano, and we disagree with you, and we put you through that this thing should be for the exporters, not we in Nigeria, because it's going to be a burden on us. For example, when you talk of Coca-Cola, they produce tin per unit, and you want a particular, this PIN number to be on a product, and they produce millions daily to cost them more. What we are told to you is that this is not for us. If you want to check quality, the origin of any product, tell the importers to do that, not we who are producing for Nigerians. They are the ones supposed to have PIN. If you have certified them before importing any product to Nigeria, they must have been certified with what? With the quality. So when they get to the market, if they are bringing thousands, hundreds of thousands of products, and they have this PIN, they cannot escape it. You know the origin, you know the importers. The idea just died off. I don't know whether you are still working on it. These are the areas I want us to rethink. When you are thinking, sometimes you think how to put more burden on manufacturers to get more money from us. Rather than helping us, that idea is good for importers, not for we. If you are doing that, I should be able to know who has imported wrong steel of substandard, wrong product of substandard. Even that I can easily identify the person and deal with him accordingly. Please, I want us, we are complaining. Why are we complaining? Because we are rethinking. We want to continue to survive in this country. It's our nation. Please have that thing in mind. Don't let us do things the way we are doing it before. Let us now think and rethink so that we can get solution to this problem. Please, son, I want you to improve more, not the way you are doing things before. I can give my experience as far as that son cap you are giving. I know what I suffer. I just got it, and the product came to Nigeria. It was substandard. I can't use the product now. They are there. 137 million naira.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Our son will respond to product education, the education mark. Recently launching that have done. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir, and I'm sorry about what happened to you before. In line with the rethinking manufacturing strategy, we, of course, have come up with the idea of the product authentication again. I'm sure you are not aware of that, which is mandatory for all imported products, not locally manufactured products. Please quote me. For all imported product authentication mark is mandatory. So, in line with your view, sir, thank you very much.
That has been the position of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Even during all the sensitization program that was held, we emphasized the need that it is not for local manufacturers products, since we have MANCAP and all other inspection by SOR. So that has been taken care of. MC, are we introducing Dr. Shegu? Dr. Labi? Hello, Dr. Labi? Dr. Labi, is anybody coming? Any other agency coming? Please quickly bring them so that we, because of time.
Can I?
Sorry, please hold on. Please hold on. Mr. Moderator, we have another agency of government that will also help us. We have Mrs. Smani Mbiemu, who is the head of food and chemicals for NEXDRA. Please let's welcome Mrs. Ebiemu to the stage with a round of applause.
You're welcome, ma.
So, in continuing the conversation, she's supposed to come speak for like 5 minutes to give remarks about what they are doing right now. If there's any project or any update as it relates to manufacturing that Nezra wants us to know, she'll come up 5 minutes, you speak, and then we'll receive questions from members of the audience. Are you ready for us? Please let's welcome Mrs. Ebiemu to the stage.
Wow.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Spani Mbiemu. I'm from NESRA. NESRA is the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency. The core mandate of the agency is to ensure compliance with excellent environmental laws, as we all know. The mandate of the agency, as it relates to the manufacturing sector, is to ensure that manufacturers comply with laws relating to the environment, solid waste, liquid waste, ensure that basically safety, health, and environment. Some of the projects that we have for the manufacturing factors, the latest project, we have the EPR project. The EPR is the Extended Producer Responsibility Program. This program is geared towards minimization of waste. And the program is to ensure that, or is aimed to ensure that producers of products are involved in the product throughout its life cycle. And basically, we are working with all the sectors, the chemical sectors, the food and beverage, and other sectors. And under the EPRO program, we have been able to, we are working with, basically, with, for now, we have gone so far with the food and beverage sector, the electrical, electronic, the tire and battery sector. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Ma, for joining the discussion. So if you have questions for Nezra, please, we would like to have it. But with Son is here, customs are here. Our closing time, I was reminded, is 12:30. So we can still take a few questions and round up. Okay, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon all. My name is Raymond Anyao. I represent Arawa Metal Containers Limited in Kaduna. Chairman of Kaduna also. I will take the last presenter from Nesria, since you are seated. I just want to clarify, Madam, there's Nesria, there's NOSDRA, there's Federal Ministry of Environment, State Ministry of Environment. All these are agencies that come and do the same thing in our facility every year. Why can't all these agencies be unified so that we just have one body regulating environmental issues? That is just one.
Okay.
Then,
I don't know whether she will be able to answer that, but that's the part of the communique we'll release if all of us want just all the regulatory agencies in terms of environment. But NESRA is quite different from I think the other one takes care of the oil sector, oil and gas, while NESRA deals with other environmental issues. They are really distinct and different. So NESRA regulation, as she has explained, mandate is to ensure that your affluent discharge everything you do. I thought you were talking about the state equivalent of.
Many people have spoken here on the quality of imports. We all know that for national development, steel is a very key factor. Our production of steel in country for now is still very low. Most of our steel needs are imported. But what we have in the market are substandard in terms of dimensions. 2 millimeter steel, 5 millimeter steel are the standards. But what you get in the market for 5 mm will be 4.5, sometimes 4.2. For 6 mm, you get 5.2, 5.4, and that. And for real quality production, you need the correct standard dimension of these materials. For we to meet with standard, where we are supposed to use 5 mm, for instance, we'll be forced to use 6 mm because 6 mm itself is 5.5. And in design, engineering-wise, we know that when you under design, you are looking out for what you see, substandard structures all around us. This is, for me, what the Standards Organization of Nigeria should look into. Now that they say that they are not at the borders, whose duty is it? They don't come through irregular borders. This steel come through the regular borders.